watched a friend of his get chainsawed apart, and he's like, it was fun. I did not expect those exact words. This isn't gonna go very well. I kind of think he's not gonna be alive at the end of this movie. Welcome back to another movie reactions video. We are still in July. We're in July. I apparently haven't moved on yet. On another 80s movie. Today we are watching Scarface. Again, these are movies that I just picked from a list of 80s movies back in October, so forever ago. And I don't know, I don't even know actually that I watched the trailer when I was picking this movie, because I was just like, oh, that's a movie that everyone's talked about and I haven't seen, so I should probably just watch it. I am gonna read just a little description on the movie. It doesn't give anything away, so that's why I'm reading it. In the spring of 1980, the port of Mariel Harbor was opened and thousands set sail for the United States. They came in search of the American dream. One of them found it on the sun-washed avenues of Miami, wealth, power, and passion beyond his wildest dreams. He was Tony Montana. The world will remember him by another name, Scarface. So, that doesn't really give anything away. He came from Cuba and made it big in the U.S. And I'm still kind of weird without my usual disclaimer at the end, because I don't know what I'm going to show you. I might just show you the biggest, most ridiculous scenes, and you're going to be like, oh my god, now I know how the movie ends. So yeah, there's that, and let's get started. This movie is 2 hours and 50 minutes long. That is including credits, but still, it's 2 hours and 50 minutes long. This is gonna be a long movie. I'm probably gonna have to pause partway through to get a snack, because I haven't eaten yet. So, but yeah, guess the sooner we get started, the better, right? Oh, okay. Because this was in 72 hours, 3,000 US boats were headed for Cuba. But then they were leaving for the US, and so I was like, wait, what? How were they going to Cuba, but then they're leaving Cuba? But the boats were going to Cuba to pick up all these people and then go back to the US. Wow, that took me forever. Okay, he does actually have a scar on his face. Okay. Started out washing dishes. Nowhere to go but up, right?
Who do you think we are? Baggage handlers? The going rate on a boat is 1,090.
First, you gotta work your way up to 500, kiddo.
Okay, he was very determined.
I just want to get to know who I do business to.
You're gonna get to know me when you start doing business with me. See if he fits.
Yeah?
Dude, you're not really in control of the situation. Is there a reason they couldn't just do a swap, drugs for money? Were they supposed to kill them or something? Or are they just doing it because he wanted to? I don't know. Well, okay then. Okay, that was not the original plan.
And I need him around me all the time, you.
He just watched a friend of his get chainsawed apart, and he's like, it was fun. What is wrong with you?
Because my friend Angel is like.
You know, Frank, if anyone ever wanted to assassinate you, it would be too hard to find.
Assassinate me? Who the hell wants to kill me? I got nothing but friends.
So he's obviously starting to work for this guy, whose name I don't remember. But I'm wondering if he ends up killing him and taking over. Or killing the other guy that's in the club that they were talking about and taking over his
What's your name?
whatever.
I'll check his with. Do you like me?
I like you
That's the opposite of what she said.
I know.
In that thing? You must be kidding.
What are you talking? That's a Katelyn.
It does look really
I would
bad.
be caught dead in that thing. It looks like somebody's nightmare.
Okay, that's a little over the top.
Hey,
Don't get confused, Tony. Tony.
No thing.
He did have family there. Does have family there.
Postcards from jail.
all that's over. It's starting to rain. My kid's sister don't have to work.
It is his sister. Okay.
And Mama, she don't have to sew in no factory. Just some made it, Mama. With an anti-Castro move. I'm an organizer. I get a lot of political contributions.
Sure you do.
You are not just a political refugee. What the heck did you do in Cuba?
How come you... Hey! Stay away from her. Yeah? She not for you.
You better listen.
Yes, it would have been nice if he could have come.
He would like to come, Mr. Sosa, but you know, with his trial coming up and everything, it's hard for him to get out of the country.
So he sent you instead.
His boss is on trial.
House, Shelby.
Okay.
You got good stuff here.
I can't wait to see what Frank's gonna react to this one.
I don't trust the guy on the left.
I'm doing the talking here.
I haven't since they went into Frank's house.
Panama. He was an informer for the police.
I knew I didn't like him, but wow.
You short a couple of mil, I go on the street for you. I make a couple of moves. A mil here, a mil there. You got it. Okay?
Just like that? Oh, okay.
You make a move on your own. He is a snake. That's what he is.
He's got more class than you do.
You're turning back on him. You stick it in. You don't trust a guy like that.
He also found out about your informant that you didn't know about.
I want you to marry me. I want you to be the mother of my child.
I did not expect those exact words. What is with these eye stare things? What is...
Where you going, man? He loves you, that's why he did it. Alright? He cares about you. To him, you're still his little sister.
Right.
You gotta
That's the problem, Manny. That's the problem. He still treats me like I'm a baby. I'm 20 years old now. I'm not anybody's
Well,
baby.
you're so grown up.
You're still kind of a baby at 20.
Come on.
What about
A
you?
lawyer.
Oh, gosh.
What are you talking about?
Why don't you take me out?
What, you crazy?
I see the way you look at me, Manolo.
They're doing some kind of setup. I'm confused. I'm also really confused as to how he's so high, like in the drug organization, how he made so much money so quickly.
No.
You tried to have him killed, and since he wasn't killed, now you're begging him for your life and giving him money. And... Wow.
You got a job. Hey, Tony. Thanks.
I'll take a job over losing my life. Wow. He gone.
Come on. Que esto.
Oh. Oh no, it's disgusting. It's tied up too.
Money, 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 money. Money, that's all I ever hear in this house.
Manny, look at the pelican flying. Come on, pelican. Here he is.
Frank never talked about money.
Oh. That's because he was so smart. Me! That's who!
With him the whole time.
Me!
And now you're pulling him out of things that he's setting up. You're, I don't know, getting paranoid or something.
You just know how to hide. How to lie. Me, I don't have that card. Me, I always tell the truth. Even when I lie.
Although she didn't talk to her mother very well. But that doesn't mean she's doing terrible things. It means she's hiding something. But I know what it is, so this isn't gonna go very well. Well, I knew it wasn't gonna go well. This guy's smart enough to run some huge drug operation, but he's still an idiot. I don't even know what he is. Is he paranoid? Like, cause all of a sudden he doesn't trust anyone, and but then he doesn't worry about things. It's just like paranoid about the people in his life. I kind of think he's not gonna be alive at the end of this movie. I should probably watch when I'm throwing things.
She's cooling down. Why, Annie?
Oh, she's gonna be fine, Tony.
She's never gonna be around you again.
What are we gonna do now?
Sosa's way more put together than you are. I mean, you did just kill your best friend, but like, you've just been slowly falling apart. Whereas he's over there just like making drugs and keeping himself together and making good high connections. And I'm so not condoning this, but he's gonna win this one. I'm saying it now. I'm sure he's gonna win this one.
Say hello to my little friend.
And Sosa wins. Dang. He was intense, crazy, confident. Gotta give him that. I mean, from the beginning, he was like, I'm not. He was. The way he leaned back in the chair when he was being talked to with the detective or something. Very confident and knew he's made for more. But his friend Manny, like, totally got him all the connections. He's like, I know this guy, or I know this guy, I met this guy. Like, he got him the connections to get to Frank to sell drugs and make money. And it was totally his attitude that, like, kept him going. But, I don't know. And then he made it big. And then it just all changed. Just all of it. Like, he was very sure and going for more and was like trying to make good or like better business decisions and was more not really rational but just like on top, I guess. He was more, I guess, I don't know, thoughtful in the way that he was doing things. Like, it wasn't, he kind of like seemed like he knew what he was doing, or like where he wanted to go, or how he's gonna get there, or what have you. And then he made it big, and he opened all these companies, and then he just went crazy. I mean, I get the more security in the surveillance systems, and like new people come into like the household, like being very wary of them because he probably had a ginormous target on his back, from, like transporting and selling a whole lot of cocaine. It's not really looked well upon. But he just like lost it. Just lost it. I mean, even before then, he kind of like raged out a few times, and like that wasn't cool. So that was already in him. But then he just went way overboard and lashed out against the people that were trying to check him and like be supportive. And then he killed his best friend. And it just went psycho, and he like had no respect for anyone anymore. He was never like thoughtful about things. It became very emotional decisions, which I mean I'm like cool with not killing like children and women, and wouldn't even want to kill that man either, but I don't know. It yeah, I was not surprised by the end. I totally wasn't surprised. Because his business partner who he got the drugs from, Sosa, like I think I said it during the movie, like he kept his head about him. He was pointed out in the video, and so was that Bolivian dude guy who was in like the Bolivian government. And he was like, this is a problem, so like this guy just like needs to not be living anymore. But he never like he didn't freak out about things. Like he still had a calm head. He still was very level. I said it from the beginning too. He was very classy. Like he stayed that way. And that's why I was like, this dude's gonna win because he's not just gonna like go crazy. He still has his brain together. So yeah. Um that it honestly wasn't quite my type of movie. It wasn't quite. Um I'm not just that's not does anybody say that that's their world, but that's totally not my world. And it's always interesting to see it because I usually like I watch crime shows, like that's I watch the police side of things, and so it's interesting to see the other side. Not quite my type of movie, and there were definitely like I didn't I didn't connect with Tony at all. Never connected with him, never was like for him or supported him. I was just like, you're kind of ridiculous the whole time. So I think that just kind of kept me like back from the movie a little bit. But it definitely wasn't bad. Like I'm glad I watched it. I know it's a movie that like a lot of people talk about, and it's one that like you should have and stuff. And so I'm glad I've watched it. Um, but I wouldn't be opposed to watching it again, actually. But I wouldn't necessarily like choose to watch it over something else. So yeah, anyways, I'm always like a little. This is not like a tangent, but just kind of going back. I'm always a little bit like I not like hesitant, but like, am I? Because they're like killing people, and I'm just like, yeah, that's valid. And I'm like, wait, what did I just say? Like, I shouldn't be like for people dying. But it's a movie, and so maybe sometimes I'll like support the people or be like, I like him or her when they're not really good people. But like I wouldn't do it in real life. But it's a movie. But it's still always kind of like, what just happened? Like I don't quite understand. But it's a movie, so it's okay. Anyways, it said in the little description that people knew him as Scarface, but literally nobody ever called him that throughout the movie, and there was no like nothing like the cops were watching him or anything. There was just that one time when he was laundering money or counting whatever he was doing with the money. when they caught him and they arrested him, like there was just that, but there was no of them like it didn't seem like he was being watched before, it really just seemed like he was being paranoid before. So he probably like was being watched, but like there was none of that. There was no like outside view, there was no like nickname on him. You only saw like the one newspaper article where he paid like a $5 million bond, or yeah, bail, not bond. I was like, right letters and right first letter, but like wrong word, right number of letters. Um, but so I was like, why, like, where, like, I get the Scarface, because he had a scar on his face, but it didn't really seem like that was like a nickname of his, so I didn't quite, like, I don't know, that part didn't quite connect for me either. Okay, I'm actually going to end this now. And I will see you all next week for another 80s movie. Again, I don't remember what I'm watching, but that's okay because we are going to hopefully enjoy it. And yeah, have a good week, everyone.